the importance of patience and the importance of paying attention when our children talk to us can never be overestimated, because you will never know what you will come to know if you put in the effort, if you put in the patience to listen, to interact, and to communicate with your child, even when you are very busy. Of course, you can tell your child, if he's old enough to understand, that mommy or daddy is busy doing this, so I might not have capture everything that you say, so I might ask a few more questions along the way. Would that be alright? Or you could even say that, if you can you hold the thought for 1 more minute, let me finish this, and I'll sit down and listen to what you want to share with me. Alright? Just the other day, about 2 weeks ago, I came back from home. I came back from work, right? In the late afternoon. He got back from school. He's 10 and a half years old now, 10 years plus. So he learned a new game in class that day, kind of like a simple board game. A little bit like tic-tac-toe, but this is the Aboriginal version of it. It's called Naka Naka, right? It's very interesting. So we played a few games of that. I was at the kitchen trying to, set things up, put the food together and kind of cook up a dinner, because my wife basically have a lot of things almost like semi-completed. All I need to do is heat up some stuff, stir fry the veggie, and then set the dinner table, and we are good to eat. Still, that will take about 20 minutes, right? Some cleaning up to do as well, because my wife, she do the cooking before she left for work on that day, so it's only me and my son at home. I woke up very early that morning, long day, came home, got changed and started preparing our dinner. And he wanted to play the game because he was very passionate about it, because it was something new they learned that day, and they were playing that all day, all right? In school, during recess, during their lunch hour, right? So obviously, when he saw me, he wanted to play that with me. He taught me how to play. Very simple to play, but it's very interesting, right? It's very fast-paced, and it really trains the mind as well. Work your mind. It's a bit like tic-tac-toe, except it's more dynamic, more interesting. So after about 15 minutes of playing that, I was very tired, but I tried to concentrate, because he is so keen to play this game, and he has no one to play with. He hasn't got any siblings. So I played with him for about 15 minutes, right? It really tested my patience, because I was very tired. So to me, I remember thinking about this game playing is even more exhausting than listening to him sharing his story of what happened in school that day, because you have to you got to think hard, you got to be on your toes, otherwise you will keep losing. That won't be fun for him either, even though he likes to win, but you have to give him a bit of a challenge as well. So I have to acknowledge, or I have to say that I did put in the effort. I have to say that I'm pretty happy that I did put in the effort, and I lasted for 15 minutes when I finally said to him, all right, I'm gonna quickly put together something to eat for both of us to eat, and then we can chat about what happened today, right? Or chat about anything. But let me just, do this work first. Another 10 more minutes we can eat. So I turned around, started to get ready, So we're not playing the game now, and he started to say, because I started asking him like, what did he learn, the origin story of the game and stuff like that. So he went on to talk about, because that history lesson that he attended, where he learned about the Naka, tic-tac-toe game, was in the first block. Right, there are 3 blocks in the school day. So first block was very fun, but then he said that from second block on until the 3rd block, which is the last block, he got picked on. So I asked him, what do you mean by picked on? Being picked on by who? Right, and then he said that he has a casual relief teacher that day. The usual teacher did not turn up, so they had a casual relief teacher that took the class from the 2nd block on, because first block they had an incursion sort of history experience where all the classes of that grade gathered at the hall and learn about history and also the Aboriginal game. So he's been picked on, and something terrible happened. I was appalled, right? What happened that day was unacceptable to us, and I was so glad that I had been very patient, especially in the first 15 minutes, especially in the 15 minutes where we played the game. Had I lost it, all right, I would say that, can you not see that I'm very busy here? I just got back, I just got changed, and I need to, prepare the dinner for both of us. And why don't you help out? Yeah, in fact, helping out, asking him to help out is a good idea as well. But sometimes I would just be so impatient that, you just do your stuff, let me get this over and done with, right? I'm happy that I did not say that. I'm happy that I did not say that, because it might not have ended well, all right, emotionally, okay? So, right, I need to go to work now, but all right, maybe I'll just give you a little bit of what has happened. I believe my son can be a very mischievous, naughty, and even annoying student in the class some days, right? Especially when he's hanging around with his friends, in the classroom even, right? So the teacher got a little bit annoyed, kind of told him off. I mean, all this is just another day at the office. I'm a teacher myself. I know how irritating student behavior can be. But what really shocked me was that he was not allowed to go to the toilet, right? So he said, like, the teacher would say, like, you just had a break, we just started the class 10 minutes into the class, now you're going to the toilet. Couldn't you have gone, can't you have got, why don't you go earlier? He said that he did go, but he had a bit of he had drank a little bit too much water that day, so he was not allowed to go. 10-15 minutes later, he asked again, was rejected, and he did a few more times until about 50 minutes later, one more rejection. he kind of almost, you know, lost it. You know, he couldn't hold it any longer, but he managed to gain back control and waited for another 15 more minutes when he asked for another permission to go. Finally, he was allowed to go, but that was like after 1 hour and 10 minutes, you know, since the first request was rejected. Okay? So it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. We actually, you know, contacted the school, the principal. The principal was very proactive, very cooperative. He did talk to the teacher, and the teacher was honest enough to admit what she had done, right? And I appreciate that really as well, as much, you know, as I was angry about what had happened. I was very appreciative that the teacher owned up to her responsibility as well. So we learn a lot from this. I hope my son learns from this as well, and also the teacher as well, because there are things you can do, but there are things that you can't. You know, you have to draw a line somewhere. You know, refusing, you know, to let the child goes to the toilet multiple times is a little bit too much. But anyway, that's not the main topic here. The main topic is communication with our children is so important, because we actually don't do it formally, asking what happened every single day after school. And of course, some days I did ask him, all right, while driving or while having dinner. But if you just ask him like that, tell me what happened to at school today, he would say that, oh, there are 3 things that happen. No, things doesn't happen like this. You know, the conversation is very spontaneous. You know, and then it doesn't go chronologically as well. Sometimes it goes back, flip-flopping, you know, and you have to, you know, constantly communicate and interact to find out more, all right, if something is of concern to you, you know, because he will blah 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 go one round, and what happened, bit of here, you know, it's going everywhere, and a bit of this and that here, and then, you know, so then you have to pick up what are some of the important parts, or what are some of the important events that you want to dwell further down, right? And then you can go back and ask him, like just now you mentioned about Dylan and David having a quarrel, right? Can you tell me how it happened? You know, did the teacher see it? You know, things like that. It's very important. Okay, so I have to go now. All right, so you have a good day. Bye.